I was very fortunate. I met this guy. His name is Hans, H-A-N-S, Kasten, K-A-S-T-E-N. So you can Google him. There's not a lot about him, but you can Google him. And he was born in Hawaii. His parents were German, so he was a German American. He was a prince in Samoa for a time, and he joined the war to fight. And he got captured by the Germans. And the Germans considered him a traitor because he was a German American. He spoke fluent German. And so they would use him as the interpreter because he was in Dachau. And they would use him as the interpreter. And so they always were trying to find out who the Jews were. And the Jews actually had an H on their dog tags for Hebrew instead of a J for Jews, and the Germans didn't know that.
Oh, so they didn't know that that's...
So they didn't know. So they couldn't pick the Jews out and execute them. And so they would tell Hans, they were brutal. They treated him brutally because they considered him a traitor. So like they would break his jaw with the butt of a gun. They threw him out second-story windows. They would beat him up in the camps so everybody could, watch like that. This is your punishment if you're a traitor or if you don't do what we tell you to do. And they would tell him to go down and tell all the Jews to take one step forward because they wanted to exterminate them. And so Hans would go down, explain this, but everybody would take one step forward. Well, and the Germans weren't allowed to execute everybody. Why? I don't know, because they were really good at it. And so towards the end, they decided he had served his useful purposes, and they had put him into solitary confinement in a little teeny room, like he was like this. And he was slated for execution the next day. The day before his execution, the Americans came and liberated that camp. And so he lived, and he went on to have an incredible, just an amazing life. But I knew him when he was in his 90s. He died when he was, I want to say 96, but Google will kind of maybe give you more of that information. But he lived in Manila most of his adult life. And he did really well. He was very successful, but he was really open with telling stories about World War II when I met him. And there is a chapter in a book. He was an atheist, a profound atheist. And somebody wrote a book about the World War II survivors. And one chapter is dedicated to Hans, and the name of that chapter is The Atheist. And I would have thought he would not have been an atheist after living through that, and he remained an atheist till the day he died.
Yeah.
But he was an awesome guy, an awesome guy.
That's really cool.
It was very cool. So yeah, and I think you can Google him. You won't get a lot of information, but it'll verify the fact that it was a real person and this is not some crazy lady on the corner of the street telling you this harebrained story. But
All right.
yeah, good luck with your project.
Do the last thing.